Good day and Assalamu alaikum. I am Saida Yusabal, and today we are assigned to discuss the lesson number 7, which tackles about the developing proficiency in written communication writing and answering official correspondence. So basically, in this lesson, we will be talking about the written communication, how it is important, and of course, it's different types, of course. So before we jump off to the definition, or before we define what is written communication, let us discuss first what is communication. So basically, according to its definition, communication is the process of exchanging ideas, information, or concepts between a sender and a receiver. The sender is the one who creates and sends the information or the message, and the receiver is the one who receives, who interprets the message. So this exchange takes place through medium or a channel. It could be verbal, non-verbal, visual, and or written. So now, what is written communication? Written communication is the process of exchanging message, information, thoughts, or concepts between a sender and a receiver by making use of the written word. Effective written communication is important for businesses as it helps to bring everybody on the same page regarding overall goals and objectives. In this day and age, everybody is expected to navigate emails, bulletins, reports, or circulars, and the office. So basically, written communication is a communication which also has the same definition to what is communication. What only makes them different is that written communication itself is through written word. But as I've said earlier, written communication could be verbal, could be non-verbal, visual, and or written. So that means written communication is still a part of communication which composed of a sender and the receiver. The sender is the one who creates and sends the message, and the receiver is the one who receives and interprets the message. Now, why is it important to have an effective written communication? So according to the information being provided in the module, written communication or effective written communication is important, especially to the business owner, to the businessman and women, further goals and objectives. Especially in today's generation, everyone is expected to use or navigate emails, reports, bulletins, circulars, and office. So if we observe in today's day, we are more likely to receive message from our emails through written, di ba? So, sa report, sa paggagawa ng report, it is also through email. Sa mga bulletins, of course, ganun din. Sa ating office, ganun din. So, that is why, that's one of the factors why is it important to have an effective written communication. So now, let's proceed to the types of written communication. So in the types of written communication, we have the transactional, the informational, and of course the instructional. Okay, so transactional communication is when you communicate something only to get a response from your receiver. It is known as transactional communication. The online medium is the most effective way to send your message quickly, and emails and or texting platform work wonderfully. Since you expect a response, you need to be careful about the way you frame your message, be mindful of the tone, language, and style. Some of the examples of the transactional communication are asking for a favor, scheduling a meeting, or requesting a quick clarification. So meaning, transactional communication is, for example, I am the sender of the message, and if I communicate to someone or to somebody only to get the response from the message I have sent, that is what we call transactional communication. And in this type of written communication, the best way to use for a quickest way to send our message is the online medium. And since we are expecting a response from our receiver as a sender, we have to be careful about the frame of our message, be mindful of the tone, about the language we use, and of course, the style of our message. So, madalas natin ito siya nakikita, ang mga example nito sa when we are asking for a favor, if we are scheduling a meeting, or requesting a quick clarification from our receiver. Actually, we have an example of the transactional communication message here. So, I will just present it to you kasi masyadong hahaba. So, basahin niyo lang. If you can observe the message, the sender really used an accurate and very cautious words. Yung, for example, this is a friendly reminder regarding the invoice number. Actually, this message is about a payment reminder to Mr. Smith. Kasi hindi siya nakakabayad pa doon sa invoice na ginamit niya during tumatawag ata siya. So, other than that, yung mga words na ginagamit dito like if you're facing any issues with making the payment, please feel free to contact us. We appreciate your prompt attention to this matter. Thank you for your cooperation and best regards. So, as a sender, we have to be very careful about the words we use, about how we frame our message. The second one is informational communication. When you communicate something for the benefit of the reader or to inform them about something, the message is known as informational communication. The onus is on you to deliver the message, and the receiver doesn't have any role to play except for raising doubts or asking for clarification, if any. You need to communicate clearly, avoid complex terms, and be direct so that your reader can understand the message easily. Example of informational communication, they are a quick and efficient form of internal communication. In this type of communication, if the reader is the one who benefits and the sender is informing them about something, therefore, the communication is called informational. And in this type of written communication, the sender must communicate clearly, avoid any complex terms, and be direct on the message for the reader or the receiver to easily understand the information. That is informational communication. So, the last one is instructional communication. Before we jump off to the instructional communication, of course, just like the transactional communication, we also have an example for informational communication. So, I will just present it to you, read the message, and of course, observe. So, tignan nyo yung kanyang subject. So, if you can observe, the company update. It is a company update for the new office location. So the sender informed his or her teammates for the new location of the office. So therefore, from the word information, we are informing others. So the last one is instructional communication. When your communication is meant to instruct or direct someone to do a specific task, it's called instructional communication. These messages should be detailed, giving the reader a fair idea about the topic. It should be easy to follow and should clearly instruct the reader what's expected of them. The most crucial aspect of instructional communication is the format. Using a bullet points to lay down the instructions step by step can help. Using smaller paragraphs or short sentences are a powerful way to help your reader understand your instruction. So in this last part of the written communication, if the sender is meant to give an instruction to a reader or to a receiver to do a specific task, therefore the message is called instructional. And in this type of communication, format is crucial. The receiver must have the fair idea about the topic, and the sender should use an easy and clearly instruction to follow. A smaller paragraphs and sentences a smaller paragraphs and sentences is more likely helpful for a reader to understand the instruction. Again, we also have an example for the instructional communication. I will present it to you and read the whole message para mas alam niyo kung ano yung pinagkakaiba-iba ng tatlong types of written communication. So in this last part, the subject is updated procedures for expense reimbursement. So in this message, obviously, the sender is giving the receiver a specific task about the expense reimbursement, documenting all the receipts for them to be kept for the report. So now we are done with the 3 types of written communication. Let's now proceed to 5 C's of written communication. In some ways, written communication is more important than verbal communication. It helps you record information and refer to it in the future. It creates accountability and establishes a powerful channel to engage your audience. Effective written communication depends on various factors. You can remember them through these 5 C's. First, we have the connection. It is the way you connect with your readers or audience and engage them through written communication. So, napakasimple naman. So, it is the way how we connect to our audience, to our readers, and engage them through written communication the way they read our letter. So, the second one is clarity. You should have a clarity of thought while engaging in written communication. It shouldn't confuse your reader. So, dapat meron tayong clarity sa ating mga mensahe when we are messaging to someone. So, the third one is cause. Before you write something, ask yourself what it is that you want to convey. Your goal or purpose should be clear to you as well as your reader. If there are any actionable items, they should also be laid out clearly. So, in the cause, kailangan lang alam mo kung ano yung sasabihin mo, kung ano yung intention mo, the purpose of your message, para mas magets or mas maintindihan ng iyong reader or audience. So, our fourth one is conciseness. Written communication is effective when it is direct and to the point. You need to be clear and put forward your points succinctly. So, in conciseness, it is parang mas importanteng concise lang ang for example sa instruction kasi mas magigets yun ng reader mo. So, the last one is correctness. Always use appropriate grammar, inoffensive language, and the proper tone while communicating. Always proofread what you have written. Incorrectness. The sender must always use an appropriate grammar, offensive language, and of course, proper tone while communication. We also have proofread what we have written for us to avoid any misunderstanding, to avoid usage of inoffensive words or inoffensive language. So that's all. Good evening.